Holy Viking, we are live. Welcome to the Chain Dogs podcast, where we talk about everything theme parks, amusement parks, roller coasters from all over the world. Thanks to everyone who's joining us tonight. If you are listening to this on podcast after the show is live, just to let you know, we do this every Wednesday at 8 p.m. on the Chain Dogs YouTube channel, Chain Dogs podcast YouTube channel. Yeah, so come join us, get involved in the chat. So yeah, how are you all doing, guys? We good?
Good, thank you.
Good. Yes.
Is everybody in?
Is
the
everyone?
Ceremony is about.
Are we
to
getting
begin.
in? Are we going in? Yeah. So we all good. There's been a lot of news going on. Not as much as last week. So it's not going to be a flipping 2.5 hour episode.
Last week was ridiculous.
It was just mental. He's actually listening to that in the podcast for 2.5 hours.
You're the real MVP if you listen.
Right,
to
so Phantasialand. No.
Picking up where he went, picking up from last week. Yeah, we're gonna have to cool down.
Fantasyland-less episode.
Yeah, we're gonna have to cool down
this week.
I was gonna say, yeah, no, I won't say that. So let's see who we got in the chat. So yes, we have Carl. How we doing? We got that ginger one. We got Neil. We got not Carl. We got Iona. We got Baz and Coaster Dad. We got RCT Limit. Fingers crossed for more wieners this week. You never know. Wieners are always lurking.
We got
Tom. We got Matt. We got Kira. We got Joe. We got Vix.
Got no Luke.
Yes.
No
yeah.
No Luke.
Oh yeah, we need to mention that because we've been talking for like the last half an hour.
Luke is otherwise engaged. There you go.
Yes.
He had to
Work related
at the last minute.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he did really want to do it, but it was the last minute. He couldn't make it, so
he's
he'll
all
be
good.
back
It
next year.
is just work related.
Yeah, it's just work related. We got Scare Track in the house.
Mikey.
Yeah, so there we go. So, shall we just get into the news?
Go for it, yeah.
Yeah. So, first of all, Tron. Something that.
Oh my god.
I wanted Luke to be here for the Tron stuff. He's super excited about it. I'm like kind of excited about it. But yeah, so Tron...
like
Let me just explain what is going on. Yeah, so Tron, even though it's opening April the 4th, I've started doing the cast member previews, which means suddenly every US vlogger's got a mate who's a cast member.
Yep.
yeah, pretty much.
Like every POV imaginable is out now. But yeah, so it's a bit of a shocker, really. Like, because we've been waiting for this coaster to open up for so long. Just in case you didn't know, in 2020, the start of 2020,
84 years ago.
84 years.
84 years.
Oh yeah, 2020, start of 2020. I went there and the coaster was built. It's just and the actual building it was on was built as well. Wow, nearly anyway. So yeah, it's been taking that long. So yeah, that's it really. So what was you going to say, McCall? Because I'm kind of not a little bit bothered. But...
No, just like it's funny to me just because of how much like this thing has been memed to death, just because of how long it's taken.
Yes.
But I was always super excited about this ride just because of how incredible visually the one in Shanghai at Shanghai Disneyland looks. Like I've always said, like whenever I watched vlogs and walkthroughs of Shanghai Disneyland, like Tron Lightcycle Power Run was the one that I was like I won't probably ever get to Shanghai Disneyland anytime soon, but like if I ever do, that is the reason why. Like to go both ride that ride and see it and take photos of it. just see it and take photos of it and just like see that ride at night and the light package in that canopy in person, and to know that one was coming to Walt Disney World, even though like I'm not a Walt Disney World person or a Disney person in general. Like now that I live over on this side of the world, I was like, I have to go and see it. Like I have to go see it in person. But then obviously it fucking took half a decade to get built, and all the jokes ensued and everything. And it kind of just became like the butt of everyone's joke. Like it was like no one was really taking it seriously anymore. And pretty much as I felt, like as soon as it started operating, everyone was like, "Wow, it looks so good! All the lights look amazing," and rightly so, because it looks incredible.
with the fireworks in the background.
Yeah, like that's probably the best shot you could get of it.
Yeah,
right?
But the fireworks are not permanent, so that's just let's take that away first.
Of course,
but the lighting package on it,
the light. I mean, like the it could be no fireworks there whatsoever, and like the lighting package would still look as incredible as it does. And
I just think
I don't care, man. I
still think it looks like a cinema complex with a Nando's and a Hollywood Bowl on the side of it.
I
in the daytime,
kind of agree with
the
structure.
In the daytime, it does not look that cool. Like it just doesn't. Like, in my opinion, anyway. At night, it looks cool, but that's like a little bit through the day. That's not really that significant. I mean,
I just feel like I'm one of the only people that really couldn't give two hoots about this coaster. I'm really bad saying it, but I really couldn't care. It doesn't appeal to me in the slightest.
No.
It just doesn't. Like, it looks nice.
The POV.
Let me get over there with my camera, and I'll change both your minds.
Well,
you're gonna you'll do some cool photos, but that's I'm judging it.
No, I hear what you mean. Like I'm not expecting much from the coaster. Like as a coaster, like it's not gonna like change my life like that way.
I think it's a good addition to Magic. It's an amazing addition to Magic Kingdom. But it doesn't fill me with the excitement that like Cosmic Rewind did, even though like I'm not the biggest Marvel fan in the world. Like that thing just looked cool. And I think most people have like seen Guardians movies and they are fun. I think if I hadn't done that, like I might be a little bit more like, oh, this is really cool. But like seeing that everything going in that building, and the coaster is just way, it's way longer. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
This just seems like we can't really talk because
it is pretty short in comparison.
But we have so many short coasters.
Yeah, compared to some of the other coasters I've been building recently.
But Florida has some decent length coasters, man. And obviously it is about the whole experience and stuff. But yeah, it's one of them where I look forward to eventually like going to Magic Kingdom and then remembering it's there, sort of thing. I mean, like
it is worth acknowledging two things. I think one, it is a clone. We've seen we've seen what the one in Shanghai Disneyland does. Like we've seen it all. We know like all the effects inside the building and stuff.
Which when I first saw that, I was so fucking pumped. Like when I first saw it, but that was a long time ago.
Exactly. Like we've been known about like everything that the Tron coaster experience consists of for however long the one in Shanghai has been open now for. And Guardians, not only is it not a clone, but like it was shrouded in so much mystery for so long, like because like no details about it were being shared. Like everyone had no idea what to expect from it or what to even expect of what was going to be included. And like that's what made its lead up to its experience and its experience like hold so much more weight in my estimation.
Yeah 100%. Like there's something about like if the one in Shanghai wasn't there and then we was all memeing it and then suddenly I saw them images, I would be like, oh my god, I wasn't prepared. But maybe it is that I've just known about this coaster and been like, that is cool. But I think even when I saw it, like I remember seeing it all lit up and stuff and thinking that was cool. But I thought the same thing back then. Like in the daytime, it looks like the Eden Project or something. Like
I can see
you don't have to say all that, man.
it does, man. It looks like the Eden Project.
Oh, wow, it does.
Yeah.
No, I hear what you mean though. Like, just like it's obviously not as eye catching during the day because the lights aren't on. And when I talk about my like wanting to get over there, I am talking mostly about like just seeing it at night, obviously, because of all the lights and stuff. But I do still think, as short as the ride is, once it gets into the building and stuff, it's got like I do still think like the visual effects in there are really cool. Like I'm looking forward to one day seeing like just experiencing the ride itself. Like, but I probably like will admit that like I am probably more excited to go and take photos of the thing at night.
Yeah,
than
exactly. That's what you're thinking. You're like, I want to just take the photos. But yeah, let us know in the chat. Are you excited? Are you excited to do it? I know there's a lot of people who are.
I just love the queue line. One of the effects that they have in the queue line, and like the pre-show area, is
the window reveal.
So cool.
Yeah.
That window.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Enterprise.
It is really cool.
It's very odd for it to be sponsored, isn't it?
Is it?
Are you that a joke?
I was about to say, he means sarcastical.
But for Disney to have a sponsor like Enterprise,
they sponsor the sponsor.
Although I suppose the show,
mate, the original
by what was it, Pandora or something.
Yeah. The original Tron is sponsored by Chevrolet. The original.
It's not
Tron
until
Lightcycle Power Run.
you haven't been to Disney World, have you?
No.
It really surprised me the first time I went there that everything was like loads of stuff was sponsored. So I think the People Mover has been sponsored by Enterprise, or used to be sponsored by Enterprise for a long time now. It's not everything, but there's a lot more stuff than I thought. And because like Coast and Brews did that whole, oh my god, that was the funniest tweet.
I fucking love them for that.
Like he basically like put out this tweet like taking the mick, basically saying this is going to be it's taking the mick out of the sponsorship, basically.
Yeah.
And then everyone on this Twitter was just trying to justify the sponsorship, and it was like,
it was so.
But I saw someone say, "Oh, you didn't complain about like Hersheypark having sponsored rides," and it's like, yeah, we did. Like, it's like Hersheypark's great, but everything's sponsored again, and it's just really.
Did you see the response they gave to someone who asked if they'd been to Epcot before?
Yeah.
And then Matt they posted a picture of Matt outside of Eurosat. He's just like, yeah, I used to work there.
Yeah.
And that's another funny thing about it as well. Like, Matt literally used to work at Walt Disney World as well, so he knows full well about all the sponsorships. He just loves. I don't know. I
think he posted a picture and he was just like, "No, never been here" or something like that. That's the funniest thing. Yeah. In the full like outfit, uniform, and everything. Yeah. But yeah, that's about sums up. But yeah. Let's just check. So, People Mover is sponsored by Alamo and Enterprise.
Oh wow,
Double two on there, man. Yeah. So yeah.
For sure. Shout out to Coast Brews. I'm going to see them both this weekend. I'm going to see Matt at least.
So
I'm sponsored by Squarespace. What's the big deal?
All right, rub it in, mate.
I'm sponsored by Squarespace.
We'll all do this to be Squarespace, but one day Chain Dogs will be sponsored by Squarespace.
Could you imagine?
Chain Dogs brought to you by Squarespace.
Raid Shadow Legends, hopefully.
Oh god, no.
Going for that. Sam actually got a Raid Shadow Legends sponsor once. You did. That was like when I saw him get that sponsor, I was like, yes, Sam, yes, you got one.
That is a legendary sponsor to have one.
It is, isn't it? Like it's like it's a meme, but like if they said to me, "Would you do it?" I'll be like, "Yeah."
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Yeah, just.
Jack just said it's basically a booster bike, right? Yeah. Jack is.
It's literally
just a fancy booster bike.
Yeah.
I don't like booster bikes. They don't agree with me. They're the most uncomfortable things in the world, in my opinion.
Wow. Funny you should say that, because when it was the first cast preview, a lot of people were complaining about the restraints.
Yeah.
About how
awkward.
Apparently bigger people were not being able to get on it. Like really struggling to get on it. And I actually saw a page in Mr. Morrow's vlog, and he on the first try he couldn't get on it. But apparently there's like a technique to get into it, which just sounds stupid. Like a technique. I mean,
yeah.
You don't want to be putting that stupid effort in getting into it. I can speak for like women. Like leaning on your front is not comfortable.
Yeah.
Straddling a bike is not comfortable. Pad the seats, man. I was angry every time I've done a booster bike. Put a cushion on it.
Put a cushion. Hashtag put a cushion on it.
So much better.
It's the same with the vests, isn't it? Like, obviously, I don't want to speak for women, but I don't
have a problem with the vests, but I've got boy tits, so it doesn't matter. But booster bikes.
Sorry. There's a good joke about Carl in there somewhere as well. But no. Vest restraints don't bother me. The only vest restraints that I think I mentioned it last week, the only vest restraints that ever have bothered me was flies when I thought they were going to like murder me, because I didn't realize like you had like, I don't know, when they first come down they were like so tight on me, but then like obviously if you move up and then it locks into place, you're fine. But at first, like I honestly thought he was trying to murder me, like because I just got in and before I knew it he just pulled it down and I was like, what? And I was like, what the hell? And then Joe was like, push your shoulders up. And I was like, oh, okay.
Are we talking about Fantasyland? I'm pretty sure he said it was banned.
No, we're talking about vests.
No, the worst vest restraint for me.
In Fantasyland.
The Swarm.
See, I don't mind Swarm.
Yeah.
I hate them.
I don't mind them, but they lock further. Like the further you pull them down,
they can keep coming down throughout the ride. So that's the issue.
And they keep coming further down, and they don't come back up. Like B&M have modified to fix that, so like B&M wing vests, like they don't lock in place anymore, so they're more breathable. But Swarms are still of that lock-in variety where they.
It was such a stupid design feature.
Yeah,
and it's what nearly like, I mean, it ruined G-Force, the X cars. Like, I mean, Rip Ride Rocket and the Rip Ride, Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket. People have problems with
that one that comes down like that.
Yeah. That was nowhere near as bad as what G-Force at Drayton Manor was. That I think it was to do with the lift hill that was like went all the way up and you were inverted on the lift hill.
I remember.
So because you're doing that,
I never rode it. But I remember
your stomach goes out because you've got like hang time back, and then suddenly you're like, I can't fucking breathe. Like, so it's such a stupid thing. But But there we go. But apparently there's a technique to get on it, which there is technique to some restraints, but we're talking like coasters in the 90s. Do you know what I mean? Like where you go, there's a technique to like it. We shouldn't be having to have a technique like this day and age. It's just weird.
Especially not at a park that's so widely accessible as a Disney park as well.
Yeah, it's Florida. There's so many. It's like people from all over the world go there. It has to have like a very wide variety of body types. And that's what they're normally pretty good at doing, which is like fitting. And
we kind of said that when like all those things like started to get being said by people, isn't it? Like, and I don't know this to be true. It's just like our own speculations and questions, but like whether or not the original Shanghai version, like the seats, like the train seats were designed with people with like Asian people's body types in mind, right?
Yeah.
So they might have been designed to be smaller because they are just smaller people. Whereas
it's at the time
over here,
I said to you, it's like when I got a T-shirt in Thailand, and I got a large, and it was like a crop top. I went to like this market, this Thai market, and I was like, I need to get some T-shirts. So I just picked up a load of large T-shirts, and I was like a medium. I was medium was like baggy on me back then.
Yeah,
and I had it, and it was like literally like so tight. I think that's what I was thinking of. It can't be though, because there's a lot of people getting on this coaster now.
Yeah. I have seen people saying that like they've either managed to figure it out or they've just not had problems with it. But I don't know. Right.
Also, the staff kind of have a bit more experience now after a few days.
Yeah, true.
They'll be able to help people better.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I follow a woman on TikTok, and she's an American lady. She's a big woman, and she purposely makes TikTok. She knows about how accessible rides and attractions are.
Right.
And she actually was fine on the test to see for Tron, but she did have to put herself in a specific way. You know, like it was awkward to get it anyway, but she really had to kind of maneuver herself properly for it to work, which is not what you want, like you said.
No.
She did get on it, and she is a big lady, but
yeah.
Right.
Welcome YMCA.
Sam said, thing is though, other parks wouldn't bother adding an accessible row at all, and Disney did, so means they have thought about it. Yeah. So yeah, YMCA.
woo!
Welcome. Let's just I'm trying to
How
go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. A bit late, but we've made it. If you didn't know, shout out to YMCA coasters. They're doing this epic walk from South Yorkshire to Poulton's Park.
That's a mooch, that.
That is
That's a mooch.
So like 200 miles, is it? I think
Something like that.
Maybe even more.
Mate, the drive to Poulton's Park felt long, let alone walking.
But they're doing this, they're doing all this for the charity mine. So go donate. The link is I've already put it in. It's in the description of this video. So go and do that. It's really for a really good cause, and they are just mental. Like it's such a crazy
yeah.
I'm worried about him, but they're getting there, doing it.
All the power to you. You're smashing it. Just keep going.
Yeah,
they're hitting their targets. You know what I mean? They're hitting their targets. I think it's like 45 miles the first day or something like that. But yeah,
I'd say keep buying them beers for them as you see them along the way, but that's probably making it harder for them.
Yeah, I mean,
staggering.
Yeah.
I mean, you need a beer after a day like that, though. Yeah. Come on. Yes, but yeah. Please, if you can, just consider donating it, because, like I say, it's for a great charity. It's all they want to do it to encourage the people to get out more and look after their mental health. And I think you don't need to walk to Poulton's Park, but it's spreading the awareness. There we go.
Imagine that was the requirement.
Yeah. The thing is, I can't believe they're gonna get there and then they're gonna have a day. They're gonna go
a day on park.
Day on park.
Around the park. Hire a stroller, piggybacks, just around the park.
I mean,
electric scooter.
Yeah.
Become Madge from Benidorm.
Let's do it. But yeah, well done. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. Yeah. They said that the beer is keeping us going. And they said, about 200 miles.
In that case.
Yeah, there we go.
Mental.
And then night at Pop World. They're going to be sat in the corner.
Chair
in the corner. They're going to be laid down in the corner.
Yeah.
Like in the middle of the dance floor.
Yeah. So Jack. By the way, Jack was saying, in terms of restraints, nothing will ever be as bad as Luke Guru. That they were pretty bad. They were just they were just coming down the whole way around, tighter.
Like a metal bar. It was just like
it was pretty tragic, to be honest. That is going to get the Untamed treatments pretty soon. I reckon. It's got to, especially after Condor.
It has to. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I can't imagine him working. I mean, they've got a single rail going to Holland, Wallaby Holland. So they've got this good relationship with RMC, so they're going to do something to it.
It's funny because it's funny because no restraint has ever given me actual physical pain apart from icebreakers. Apart from the shin, and not even the lap bar itself, the shin guards on Icebreaker gave me actual.
They're sharp.
They actually hurt. They genuinely hurt, and it's weird because Tigresses didn't, Tempestos didn't.
No,
and they're the exact same restraint.
We went on Tigres the day after, and don't get me wrong, you still got the comfort collars on, which are just absolutely stupid. But we can all agree on that. But yeah, it wasn't. I remember getting in the train going, "This is nowhere near as bad as Icebreakers." Yeah. Why? Why? How?
They're the same restraint. How?
Shin guards though, and it's so awkward to get in and out. It slows down operations of that ride.
They are
so bad. But yeah, Icebreakers is just, I hated it. Yeah. It's such a shame because it's got a cool layout. That would be so fun. But it was the first. Even RMC. There's some RMCs I've done where it feels pretty uncomfortable in the station. But as soon as like you go down, like as soon as you start the layout, like you don't even think about it.
Yeah.
But with Icebreaker, the whole way around, I was just thinking, this is not enjoyable.
I
like,
literally couldn't focus on
yeah.
the layout, on the airtime moments, on any of the elements. Like,
yeah, it's a massive shame, really. It's yeah, I can't. It's just annoying.
I'm not doing that ride again. I can't be honest.
No. That's it. I got off it and I was like, me and Joe, like, that's a one and done. It's walk on. It's walk on. Where it's like, that's one and done. Like, I can't even be bothered to do that again.
Welcome, Marcus Gear.
We also have a first-time listener, Gecko Gamer. Welcome to the madness.
Welcome to the shit show.
Hello, Marcus.
I was trying to think about it, but say
good
like
evening, first time listening here.
Oh, someone mentioned T3 at Kentucky Kingdom. Those are bad as well, but they didn't quite give me like actual pain like Icebreakers did. But yeah, they're bad as well. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so moving on, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Dorney Park. Didn't cover this last week because it was like fresh news.
Yeah.
Need to have a bit of a look into it a little bit more. So yeah, they have that. We know they're getting a new coaster. We know that they're applying to get a new coaster, basically. Mm-hmm. And it's the first new coaster since when?
Oh shit, I can't remember.
See, we're not prepared, are we?
RCBB on there.
We don't. Clearly, we don't take this seriously enough. No, it has been a while. Like it's been a good while.
Last coaster to
one of their coasters. The coasters like what? Go.
Their Intimate Impulse coaster Possessed.
2008. However, they did get one which was Stinger in 2012, but that closed in 2017.
That closed, yeah. I was going to say one closed before this new one's opened.
It was the newest one to open, and it is closed.
Yeah,
but
and then their Intimate Impulse coaster Possessed, I think, closed not too long ago as well.
That still says open at the moment, but it might have closed.
So they basically we had this kind of this drawing that had been submitted, and all that it really showed. This is what I love the enthusiast, man, because all it showed was footers.
We do the absolute most, man.
What it showed was dots where footers will be, people have already like come to the conclusion that it's a B&M dive. Like they've compared the footers to other mini like the mini dives, right? It's not like insanely big. It's one of these smaller ones. But like for Dorney Park, that's a big thing because it just shows investment. But yeah, I just couldn't believe it. I was like, they've made an entire layout and it literally matches up. Like it looks so legit. I haven't got the actual image to show because I didn't know who it belonged to.
No Limits 2 has brought the worst out of us, I swear.
But
I think you can just put dots on a page and people can make an actual layout out of it.
That's just insane.
It's like a dot to dot.
Yeah.
It's like the best puzzle ever. But yes, so there we go. Like, there's not really much else to say about it. It just, I mean, it will get people visiting the park again. Because, like, I mean, I've been eyeing up this trip. Me and Joe are planning at the minute, and we have the opportunity to go to Dorney Park, but like I'm looking at it, I'm like, nah. There's much better places.
I mean, from what this is the funny thing is Dorney Park is one of the parks that like I look at along with other parks that I haven't been to in Pennsylvania, and having lived in Pennsylvania for 2 summers, I'm like, why the fuck did I not get out to why did I not go to Dorney Park? Why did I not go to Kennywood? Why did I not go to Waldermere? Like go ride Ravine Flyer too. Like there's a few parks over there that I need to go back to Pennsylvania to go and visit. But Dorney Park, like apart from Talon, the B&M invert there, which looks really good, and
it does look really good.
Everyone who's even half involved in theme park Twitter has heard theme park daddy Jen talk about talent relentlessly.
Yeah,
which is
I've seen
a meme at this point. But yeah, like apart from that,
But it's not. The thing is, you have to if you're from like if you're doing a big trip and you've got a limited amount of days and you want to get as much into them, you want to make the most out of that trip.
Yeah,
you know, say you got like 10 days, you need to like be really like
you need to prioritize.
Yeah, you need to prioritize. So if they had like one big standout coaster there, like that had, you know, that had been made in the last like however many years, it would be on the list. But like so hopefully, I don't know, I still don't know if they're being just B&M dive because I'm not like I don't mind B&M dives, they're just not something that I personally get that excited about.
Yeah.
Unless they're
like I said
things.
Yeah,
you know?
and like I said on Twitter, like I like B&M dives. They're not.
I do like them. Yeah,
they're not coasters I rush towards. But like I said, I'm just like.
Yeah, no, you can, mate. I've said this as well. When you said, I said this as well not long ago, not on here, but I remember just me and Joe.
I've been
when we
saying
did,
it for fucking like I've been saying it for years now.
Yeah.
Can we please have a B&M dive coaster pop up somewhere that does something after the first drop other than an Immelman?
Yeah.
Why are they all drop Immelman apart from Oblivion and G5, obviously?
Yeah.
But, like, why are they all the same element after the drop? Do something different. Like,
I know.
Probably every park is like, we need the drop to be here, but we can't have it go past this point. So they're like, Immelman to turn it back round. There you go.
Yeah. It will be that, won't it?
Like,
it is funny.
It will be for space, yeah. But...
Yeah. It's just, I mean, it kind of that combination does hit quite hard. I'm not gonna lie, it is a pretty good. But like you say, like it'd be nice just to get something, and it looks really nice off ride as well. Like just seeing that drop into an Immelman.
I haven't done a dive that has that. My only dive's been Oblivion, so
yeah.
So
I'm still yet to do a dive with a better drop than, even though like Sheikah's like amazing. Yeah.
Wait till you ride Griffin. Eventually.
Oh man.
Like I have. That's all I'm going to say about that. But no, I have a feeling that like Oblivion's drop is still one of my favorites, just because of how hard that drop into the hole in the ground just punches you in the gut, basically. But there is still something to be said about just being that high up in the air and then just dropping, just free fall dropping downwards. It's why I want to go on Yukon Striker at Canada's Wonderland so much as well, because that's the biggest B&M dive in the world, and that drop just like, oh man, just
more excited about the baggage hold on that though. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, it's baggage hold. It's like literally the most like, I don't know, so over the top. Like it's so complex.
I'd be like, where are you taking that stuff?
Yeah.
Got my stuff in there. Where are you going?
Do you remember on Monsters Inc. where like the fucking doors like are on that railing? It reminds me of that.
Those of you who don't know, the baggage hole, you put your stuff in it, and then and then like a series of chains, like a lift hill in itself, takes your stuff to the other side, over the top,
literally over the track, the ceiling, like on a suspended rail, and over to the other side of the platform.
Surely that has broken down.
Surely it has to have done.
Right. And what happens then? Like
it's Yukon Striker at Canada's Wonderland.
I'd worry, like, imagine you'd left your bag open a little bit and like everything just falls out. Oh no. I'd have anxiety. I'd be like,
that'd be so sad.
Apparently you can't put like full cups in there. You have to have them.
It's raining down on everything.
Imagine. Oh god. Yeah. But yeah, so anyway, there you go. Dorney Park. That's that.
We'll see.
Wildcat's Revenge at Hersheypark. Let's do that. So it was the weekend. Was it the weekend or Friday? I can't remember. think it might be Friday. They released the park, Hersheypark, released Wildcat's Revenge, POV.
The computer rendering,
which everyone lost their minds about because it didn't have any physics on the actual POV.
Yeah, I saw a couple of people mention that, but I didn't see the POV. I saw that they released it, but I didn't actually see
well, I've got it here because basically, they released it, and then there's loads of people complaining about how there's no forces on it because like they haven't turned physics on or whatever. And then like RMC themselves, like on Twitter, like replied saying we never design with physics on, which I kind of get. Like, I mean, they know what they're doing, right? Like they know the forces of it, so maybe that it's just a case of they sent it to the park and then the park have just released it. And maybe like RMC were like, you should have told us that and we would have turned it on. So I feel like that's probably what's happened.
Maybe.
But because I guess
I'm
like,
not really sure. Like, when you say with physics on, what does that mean?
In terms of like, it wasn't like it's not.
Really
I think the original one wasn't like it wasn't speeding up when it was going down things. It wasn't slowing down. It was just like a constant speed that entire way through. There was just like there was no up or down.
So it looked like there was no gravity. Basically.
Well, yeah, if it coasted, I wouldn't say gravity because it wouldn't move at all, would it? If there's no gravity.
No, so what it probably is the render engine they used. It's been running along a spline, and it's told to go from start to the end of the spline in this length of time, and it just has a linear transition, so it runs at the same speed the entire way.
Like imagine you go down a hill, the first drop really fast, and then
you come back up
down to go.
Right.
This just was a constant speed.
Yeah.
So what El Toro Ryan did was he speed corrected it to make it look like a normal coaster. So this is the one I'm going to play now. There we go. Sorry about that. That's very loud.
Very loud.
I thought it was going to play like muted, and then we could talk over it. But because I uploaded it on here, it I couldn't even turn it down or anything. But yeah, there we go. So what are our thoughts? What are our thoughts on that?
It looks like a very fun layout.
It does.
A lot of quick transitions.
I was always wondering what they would do with that layout and the plot of land, because it had been suggested that they might use part of the car park next to it to extend the layout a bit. But they obviously didn't do that. But yeah, no, I don't mind that layout at all. It looks like it's got some good moments in it. Just
you can never tell, like with RMCs. I feel like you can never tell, like what they're gonna ride like. Because I remember not being that excited about Iron Gwazi, and even when they released that first POV, like a lot of people were saying like it looks really good, but it's just like a lot shorter and slower than people thought it was going to be. Mate, you go on that thing,
Slower.
it is flipping insane. What?
People said they thought it was.
Yeah, this is the problem with enthusiasts. Is like we all forget like what everyone said when like a POV is released, and everyone says the same thing about every single layout, which is it looks slow.
Yeah, no, they do.
You know what I mean? And this is exactly what happened with Iron Guaz. I mean, most people were saying it looked really good, but I don't think, like, even from looking at POVs, people thought it was going to be as good as it was. I mean, let's like look at Vote Coasters, for example. Like, it took first place. Now that's only like 2,000 odd people, which is a lot. Don't get me wrong, it's a lot of people to do it on. But the fact that I think Harry said that it basically, I think it was 150 odd people had in that entire Vote Coasters had ridden Iron Guaz in Still Vengeance, and it was just over half.
Oh,
so
yeah.
So it just shows you how kind of like, I don't know how good it is, like in a way, and compared to what people were saying when the POV was first released. I remember a lot of people moaning about it.
I always remember just thinking from like the first testing footage, like projection was just said like people going crazy about like how like the speed it was running at, even just off the first like testing footage. But I remember just thinking, like off of the testing footage and the POVs, I'm just like, that looks like it rides the same as Zadra in terms of just the pace it carries throughout the entire,
which it does,
throughout the entire ride. And that's always been my stance on it. It's just like it looks the one that is most comparable to Zadra being my favorite RMC.
But it was, I think, the thing what people were saying was it looked very short. But that's because it's
I remember that. Yeah,
it was just so quick. It's insane. So I don't know, it's one of them where you never know how. I think RMCs, they ride so differently. All the three I've done anyway. I know it comes down to how they're designed. Like, I remember like Untamed, that rode so different, and obviously that comes down to the design of it.
Yeah,
but they're almost like, it's just completely different. But I mean, there's a lot of it. What I like about this, that I think, because you know how Zadra is very drawn out.
Yeah.
The elements are very drawn out
in comparison to like, and that like emphasizes the sense of speed.
Yeah.
In between each element. Yeah, I know what you mean.
This is what I'm really liking about Wildcat, is that it feels like that. It feels like you're gonna feel that speed. Again, it feels like it's gonna be another like a speed one.
Yeah. Like I feel like, and that kind of goes into what I was gonna say about just like it's gonna be interesting to see with like, because they've switched, like they've obviously Ellen Schilke is retired, and now Joe Draves heads the layout design for RMC. It's just it's already showing like how can I word this? Like how just the sensations through each layout are more balanced in terms of, you still get the airtime moments, but there's more directional changes, there's more unconventional airtime, there's more moments in between elements that accentuate sense of speed, there's more positives, there's more tighter turns and stuff. So there's more of a variety of different forces and sensations.
It's not just ejector like, constantly.
Which some people love that. I like it. I like it a lot. It's not my favorite thing that I want to see over and over again on coaster layouts though. But like you see it with Zadra, even though like Zadra was a Joe Draves partial job, it wasn't entirely Joe Draves. But like Air Force 1 looks the exact same, apart from the quad down at the end. Alan Schilke did design Iron Guazi, but and then now with this, like,
but
you see the language changing.
You can see it because I think like for me, I think that's why it's so polarizing, especially when people compare Zadra to Iron Guazi. Is they're very different. Like, they're equally as good as each other, in my opinion. Like, at different things. Like, I felt like Iron Guazi was just, it was like packed with so much airtime, like it was insane. And so Zardra does have like big moments like that, but I just don't remember getting there. Obviously, I haven't had a night ride on it, so I feel like my day ride of Gwazi is probably what people are getting at Zardra at night, because that thing, it warms up massively throughout the day. Like,
sure, I'll bet it does. Yeah,
not like, Gwazi, Zardra.
Yeah, like it's weird. Like it's kind of like that weird, unexplainable like determination of just the same but different, right? Like because in nature, and I'm speaking as someone who hasn't ridden Gwazi, I still need to ride it myself. But like the nature of them look the same, but in terms of like they focus on speed, they focus on sustained pace throughout, like all the way into the breaks. But as I've heard from other people who have ridden both, like Zardra feels more complete in the sense of just like the elements make sense one after the other. Like, and it seems like it has a very defined beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah, it's
makes
quite.
The elements make sense with each other.
You only
whereas
need.
Gwazi is just punching you in the head with element after element after element.
It is. It's
kind
like. It's that's the best way of explaining it. It's the fact that like
regardless of any sort of like
Zardra, you need about 3 rides on it, and you get a feeling for that coaster. You get a feeling for every kind of you kind of know what to expect. Whereas like with Gwazi, it's just like it surprised me like every single time. I'm just like, okay, what the fuck? What is that? It's like, it's just not. It's just like the wild card out of them too. It's just, but I kind of like that. I think that's what everyone likes something different, don't they? And I think for me,
and it's cool. It's cool to be able to see the nuances between them as well, like, because they do kind of attempt the same elements in different orders, in different profiles and stuff. But they all have something about them that ride just a little bit like. The nuances change, and like they ride a little bit different from ride to ride. So it's going to be interesting to see how the elements ride on Wildcat's Revenge as well, and also the Gen 2 trains. They pace like they hold speed so much better than the first iteration of RMC trains.
Right.
So like you see it on the way. Steel Vengeance's trains take each of the massive elements in the first half.
Yeah.
That first hill is fucking huge, and it flies over it.
Yeah.
Like it's ridiculous. So like, and like you see it on Zardra as well, and I bet you see it on Iron Gwazi as well. So like, it's gonna be interesting to see how it takes each element. Like obviously when it's up in testing and like it's been running a while and everything. I am interested to see how it pans out.
Cool. So summer. Like they're slating that to open in the summer. Don't know when.
Not long.
The summer.
Mm-hmm. That's gonna come around in a hurry. Is that?
Yeah, it's gonna come around very fast. So there we go. So big one track at Pleasure Beach. Tasaka has been busy making more track, and now it's been installed.
Blackpool have been doing a good job of showing the progress that they've done on social as well.
Yeah, I think they've just upped their game in terms of general social media this close season. Been able to see loads of stuff that's been going on, not just for the big one, which is good because that's what we like.
Their new meeting, the social media since their social media.
I really like that photo.
That's a cool photo. These are from Pleasure Beach, by the way. So there's loads of good photos. Scott from Your Experience Guide has done a whole video that he released yesterday of all this track getting put in. But it's looking. Is it all in now? It's all in now, right? Yeah, it's all in.
I think so.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But there was a really good photo of it before and after. But if you look around.
So what's the section? What's the entire section? Is it the valley before that hill and then like the first half of that hill? Is that the section that well, I guess that's the only section with on it. So
so it's like that entire valley, pretty
Okay.
much, and then that hill. Just after that hill is the section that they first retracked.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like they've
See,
kind
the
of gone
fourth,
back to...
the fourth valley or whatever it's called. Is that what it is?
Basically, it's just that bit that like folded you in half. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Isn't that most of the ride?
No, but that one specific one.
Yeah, that one bit.
I always jumped out of my seat for it to try and counteract that because I hate that feeling of just like bitting like. So I just like jump up slightly. It's like, you know, when they tell you, you know, that whole thing about like if you're falling down a lift, if you can perfectly time the jump as you hit, you won't break your legs. Which is probably bullshit.
Do not do that. That is false information.
Oh
but you couldn't do it anyway, because how would you know when the floor is going to come?
No, if you jump, you actually conserve the momentum, and you will crush your legs instead.
Yeah.
There we
You're
go.
meant to lay down flat.
Okay, that's why we have James. QI out.
Lay down flat.
Just in case you're gonna fall.
If you're in a falling lift, there you go. Very unlikely.
How about if you just hung from the ceiling somehow? Like, would
You'd
that
probably end up ripping your arms out.
I was about to say, I feel like you'd rip your arms off doing that. Because then all the force of your body would just go straight down, and that'd be.
Yeah, Andy Highgate did a really good little interview.
My mum rang me to tell me it was on. She's like, "Turn the news on." She's like, "Did you know?" I was like, "Come on, mum, do that." Like, did
already
you know?
watching it.
Yeah.
It's like, "Did you know Big Dipper's 100?" I'm like, "Yes, mum."
It's like when the news of Nemesis being closed and being retracked happened. Everyone's just tagging you and stuff. It's just like, oh my god, have you seen that? That Nemesis is closed, and it's just like, yes, I know.
It's just like every kind of like roller coaster incident around the world. You're just guaranteed to get friends on Facebook going.
Yeah, there was a like I think it was something on like I don't know, it's on like Channel 5 or something like that. It was on Zarja was on it on just like a random like tea time show, and Zarja was on it, but in the program
Channel 3, it was Bradley Walsh and his son doing like a road trip. Yeah, but
they described it as the tallest roller coaster in the world with inversions.
Yeah.
So everyone was like, loads of people were like tagging me, like, have you seen this? Have you seen this? I'm like, yeah, I've ridden it, and it's not wooden, and it's not even the tallest. Like, what you on about? But that's how they described it in the program. I was just like, but yeah.
Or it's like you always get tagged on stuff. You know it's bad, and that you go to Pleasure Beach too much. Whenever the big one stops on the lift hill, and it's like an obvious news story on it. All your mates are like, "Oh my god, were you on it?" I'm not there every day.
I'm like, I wish I paid money to do that.
I want to walk down the lift hill.
Yeah, that's the funniest thing. Like in them articles, like when them newspaper things, they never say like, "Oh, and by the way, people pay money for that experience." They just make it as like such a negative experience.
I was going to say, imagine if you just send them a link to where you can pay for the big one. It's like you can do it yourself.
I mean, I do feel sorry. Like if someone genuinely is like scared of heights, like the worst thing about the big one is walking down the hill, because it's just like. It's metal steps. You can see literally like down below. You can't look anywhere and not see the height, because even if you're looking straight at you, it's just nothing. You can hardly see.
No, if I was ever to get stuck at the top of that thing, there is no hope in hell that you are getting me out of that seat. Not a chance. I would die there than no.
It's just like Emma Skeleton forever, just like in.
Leave me. Preserve me at the front, and I will stay there forever. I am not walking down those steps in a million years.
Yeah, and should have like carry it down.
They should make it so that the evac procedure is a giant slide.
Yeah,
I could do a slide. Fun.
That'd be so fun.
Walking down them steps, not fun. Just inject me with something.
Just a circular slide.
Or you have them ones that they have in like high-rise buildings in Japan. The weird like sock tubes. It like compresses down, and you literally it's a straight drop, but because it's compressing, you can actually fall down just really slowly.
I do it.
What, you'd rather go down a flipping like vertical thing slowly?
It's a slide. It's fun. Walking down the steps to my death is not fun. I could, you know what I'm like? I could trip and fall. Anything could happen.
You trip and fall and then get stopped by the cable that's holding you.
You're not walking to your death, you're walking to your safety.
I thought they did.
Not, like, latched on evac. They just march you down the stairs. No.
My problem when I walk the big one was like I walk very fast. To be fair, Emma's like the only person I know who walks as fast as I do. Like I don't do it on purpose. That's just like my natural like stride.
I'm 95% leg, so I have no
So I walk quite. So when I was going, when we did, me and Luke did, we walked up the lift hill. I was at the front, so Andy was just ahead of me, and then I was just like keeping up with Andy, and I kept looking back down, and like everyone else was just like little. And I was like, I was like, walk this way too fast. But yeah.
Yeah, no, about evacing like on lifts, like when I worked on Apollo's Chariot, like we were trained to have everyone. I can't remember if we had harnesses for everyone and attached them to the handrails, but there was some way in which we secured everybody, and had them walk down instead of just them just walking down themselves. There was some way, I can't remember how, but then at Lightwater Valley, it was literally just like we would have one of us in front of the group and one of us at the back, and everyone just like if you want to hold on to if you want to hold on to the handrail, then you can. If you can do what you want. If you don't have to. But just like it's weird. It's interesting to see how that procedure differs at each park or even for each ride.
Well, the health and safety rides in the UK is a self-regulated industry, so it's basically like all the parks, all the companies that operate them, they all get together and they kind of just like make the rules. So I don't know if there is like I think it is literally park by park, or like Merlin has their own standards, this park has their own one. It's completely separate. But because I remember when we did Walk the Woody, I was mega surprised on that, because when we walked up the lift hill of Big Dipper, that we wasn't strapped on at all. That we had the option to, but I was like, they're so annoying. Like having to like go over the clips, like they're so annoying. Like,
I would be strapped on. But like, I don't care how long it takes. You are waiting for me. No.
Yeah, when I walked Griffin,
I loved it because it was like so freeing, like just walking.
You're a psychopath, that's why.
Yes, well, good.
I see you starflyers waving around.
I prefer it like that. I prefer it like that as well, because when I walked Griffin as part of their part of Busch Gardens Williamsburg's roller coaster tour, like we weren't harnessed in or anything. We were allowed to go to a certain point before the holding break, but before that point, like we could just walk around like on the catwalks. Obviously we weren't allowed to like jump over the track to the other catwalk or anything, but like we could just walk around the catwalks. We could take as many pictures as we want and like all of that.
What, that was Griffin?
Yeah, on Griffin. Yeah,
it's
fucking sick. It was so good.
Well, no, but like I'd love that, but I just think like a park to give that much, like, was that like part of a quite kind of a group, or was it just part of?
It was part of a tour. Yeah, it was part of a tour. Yeah.
Yeah, but just people are a bit stupid.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like getting a selfie hanging over the edge. Like that's a lot of faith the park to put into people.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, we got to move on. We got to move on. So Silk Road Paradise. This new.
Speaking of shy shit.
Yeah. So this new park in China has got 3 coasters to build in. We knew about this for a while, but I didn't know the magnitude of it until these pictures popped up.
The amount of shite involved.
So all their rides, I think it's 3 coasters. They're all built by Golden Horse. They might go under a different name.
The one and only.
Yeah. So yeah.
God, I love Golden Horse.
Golden horse. So Jinma, if you didn't know, is still golden horse. It literally is. Jin stands for gold. Ma stands for horse. So I don't know why they changed the name. It's still the same. But yeah, out of all these coasters, the one that really stood out, I'll get it up on the screen now. Yeah, the one that stood out is they've done like a complete B&M knockoff of a flyer. It's like, oh my god, it's just so funny to me.
It's so bad.
Like, look at that.
It's so bad. It's hilarious.
What is it? It's just
as if they
looks shit.
As if there was any way of making the Superman Ultimate Flight layouts even worse than they already are. They've gone and found a way to do it.
I didn't know that much. Like, I know they're just a bad manufacturer, but I've never saw them do this. I didn't know they did this like proper B&M spine. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't know that they went this far with it. Like, it's just,
you know what it looks like? If you take out the weird pretzel loop thing, it just looks like the layout for like a Vekoma family suspended coaster. Like, that's a Polton's. Like, if you just took that
I've just noticed the station's more like a Flying Dutchman. The loading isn't going to be the same as a B&M.
Yep.
You're going up the lift hill on your back.
Yep. And then you flip over as you get off of.
Yeah, look, it flips over at the top of the lift.
Mm-hmm.
You're going up the lift on your back.
So.
And then look at the transition going from lion to flying into into the brakes.
Yeah.
Oh, it is tragic, mate.
The thing is, like, I don't want to put my when that's a lot of pressure for a restraint to take when you're on your front. Like, do you want to trust Golden Horse with your life?
No.
Like, oh my!
Just imagine the lateral forces as it's turning, and then you're also being flipped onto your back. Like,
mate, imagine the G's. Like, this is definitely not being profiled like a B&M, has it? This is not being calculated.
Like the profiling of like a Volare. That's the profiling.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
like everyone knows who's done a flyer, done a pretzel. Like, when you get to about there,
it's not a pretzel loop. It's a fortune cookie.
Yeah, we'll call it a fortune cookie.
Fortune cookie loop.
Looks more like a dumpling.
Dumpling loop. Dumpling loop. Yes.
Or
potato loop. But yeah, like imagine my head feels like it explodes on a B&M flyer when you get to about there. Like, this is going to be, I don't trust it. I mean, at least they've got some theming going on here.
I was about to say, and they've got the audacity to theme the valley.
Oh, Jesus. It's just so funny. Like, I honestly was by myself just laughing out loud on looking at this. Because it just got this, that is just extreme, and then the rest of it is just like you say, it's like Polton's Park. It's like,
it's Flight of the Terror.
Also, Flight of the Terror Storm.
Why is the Switch track a completely different track type? It looks like an Intamin Switch.
Wait,
yeah.
Oh my god, it is. I've never even seen that. I never noticed that.
It doesn't have the spine. That's just.
No.
It gets worse the more you look at it.
What are they playing at?
It actually gets worse the more you look at it.
It gets worse the more you look at it. Oh, that is horrendous.
I mean, I will say, the park like doesn't look bad in terms of like they obviously going for like a theming type thing here. Like, that looks pretty cool, right? Like, all this theming with the books and everything.
Yeah, and it's like if you've looked into like how a lot of parks in China look, like the Sunak Land parks and a few of the Happy Valley parks as well.
Happy Valley parks.
Some of them look really good. Thematically speaking. But then the rides just like a lot of the rides, the Golden Horse ones at least, just look so, it looks so inexplicable that just like if I was to ever to go to them, I'd probably just miss out the Golden Horse ride.
Mate, I would probably I think a flyer, a Golden Horse flyer is too much for me. Like, it's just, even when I'm on a B&M, like obviously the taller ones on a flyer, like I do get that fear, and I'm just like, it's just, I know there's a lot more going into it than I think, but in your head, you're just like, it's just this vest that's holding me. That's in your head. You're thinking like, I'm so high up, like there's so much pressure. I'm like, I don't trust any, like, nah.
Yeah, I'm kind of. There's that part of me, like projection said, like it's gonna be awful, but I so want to get on.
Yeah,
I kind of, that part of me kind of wants to write just to see how bad it is.
How bad, yeah.
Although, like, it's so weird because, like, you remember that that LSM launch coaster they debuted not long ago.
Yeah.
That, like, it's an LSM launch. It has that same sort of, like, for lack of a better term, the rip-off of the B&M spine track on it. But, like it has a weirdly profiled Immelman, and then I think it does a loop and then a bunch of turns and stuff.
Yeah.
The way it paced through that looked really interesting, and it actually looked like a pretty good ride, but, like, the profiling was suspect, and just... Yeah. It's just Golden Horse. Golden Horse are the gift they keep on giving, man. Just like
Ticket to the Thrills is gonna let's get the potato loop in the lingo, man. Let's do it. It sums it up perfectly, that, doesn't it? Potato loop.
This is the Sharknado of coasters.
Yeah, this is the Sharknado.
And it's just so funny because, like, in the wake of, we were speaking about their involvements with IAPA in recent years and stuff. I think it was after that they announced their just Western division of their company, Noble Rides, I think it is.
Yeah.
That that's allowing them to do more business just in the Western world. Obviously, they operate in primarily in Asian countries. And they
won't be able to do, like, this type of thing. They won't be able to blatantly rip off, like, their designs, because they're, like, patented. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they won't be able to do that. That's like,
how is that division of their company going to operate? Like, they're going to have to. They got kicked out of IAPA a few years ago, didn't they? Like, they that's what I'm saying. And I only heard about Noble Rides after that happened.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I don't know if it existed beforehand, but it's
just weird.
It's such a weird story about them.
But it's just I think I mean, like, if it's just a whole, like, in China and stuff, like, patent laws and stuff don't exist. That's why, like, they can get away with kind of cloning lots of kind of technology. It's why a lot of, like, Western companies outsource to China, not only because it's, like, cheap, but they can get away with a lot. If it's manufactured over there, it doesn't matter if they sell it over here, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I don't think that would be the same when it comes to coasters, because I'm like, the parks that they're going to go for, like, surely the parks have got relationships with.
Yeah, they already have working relationships with the likes of Mach and B&M and Intimate, and RMC, etc., who do so much work over on this side of the world. So they're going to have all of those to be competing against.
Yeah.
For one thing.
So and
they're not going to be able to get away with the replications of these manufacturers' design.
You watch they'll keep doing this. They'll keep cloning rides, but then they'll perfect it, and then they'll be like, in 10 years,
undercut B&M.
Yeah, in 10 years they will probably be like one of the leaders in the industry. They'll probably have their own track design and stuff, and
that'll be a hell of a redemption.
It will happen. It will happen.
If they do.
So there we go. I mean, look at like Vekoma, for example. I'm not saying they necessarily ripped people's rides off and stuff, but, like, they were kind of laughable, like 5-10 years ago, and now they're, like, becoming, like, they're massive competition. So
they redesigned everything. They got new design. They got younger designers in.
Well, they zeroed in on perfecting, like, them kiddie coasters, and then them, like, family thrill, and then, like, to the point where they're just like, now we can actually, like, we can really push it now. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like, if you look at them. By the way, I'm not comparing Vekoma to Golden Horse.
Yeah,
I'm not. I'm just saying that was a redemption arc. So there we go. But yeah, so next up, we are going to talk about events quickly. So yes.
Was this meant to be the topic for this episode? I wasn't actually. I was just wondering if we were just doing just news or if we.
Yeah, no, we'd get. It's just basically this is going to lead on to a conversation about events. But I just need to have a comfort break. So I'm gonna play this while I'm away. Comfort break.
Just put on some elevator music. Talk against yourselves.
I'm just gonna loop this, and you can talk about this, right?
Oh yeah.
So,
two titties.
When I watched this the other day, I was like, for comedy value, could they just not have thrown the water dummies out? Because we like that shit. Like, it would have been perfect.
Or at least take the caps off
tagged when that happened.
It was just brilliant. It would have brought me some joy.
I loved that shit. I loved every second of it.
I don't think the pacing looks too bad on this.
I think it looks good for this stage of the testing that it's at. I think it's only been testing for like a couple of weeks. What's the word I'm looking for? Like consistently.
Yeah.
Like doing consistent
I think it looks
tests.
good.
I love the just after it comes over that airtime hill, it does the S down and then the kind of
the little
90-degree stall thing, like this part of the end here. It just looks so fun.
Just be on your side, just like
the forces that you're gonna get from. So a video we did see, it was testing a bit faster than that, to be fair, and it snapped through that element.
Yeah,
it looked like he would have been thrown out of the train. It was crazy.
Like the way it's going to snap into the 0G stall once it's been running, running all day, like and it's like got full trains on it. That's good. It's going to ride really well. Obviously, it doesn't look quite like that right now because it's still in early testing stages and it's probably really cold in France right now.
And they're figuring out all the speeds. Like,
sure, yeah, definitely.
They're trying to hone in on where it's feasible for it to like get through at a minimum speed, and then see how fast it can actually go as well.
For sure. And also, like. Those trims that at the top of the top hat that was supposed to be that anticipation stall thing, they don't look like they're trimming the train much at all, and they're like fixed trims. They're not like LSM trims, like that can regulate speed if they need to or whatever. They are just magnetic brakes.
Is it not like
it's just a fin? No.
Is it not like Taron's one? Because Taron's ones can, as towards the end, they can vary how many they actually have out.
I don't know if they can retract or not, but it's just straight up the metal.
On Taron, you can count throughout the day. You can see how fast it's going because you can just see it's like, oh, it started with 2 fins. It's like 4. Okay, it's got all 9. It's going quick.
Yeah. Oh, projection says 2 Titus's ones are fixed. So
they are just completely fixed. Wow.
Yeah, and like I said, they're just the metal fins. So like, it's not like they can regulate speed or anything. So that's promising.
So they're gonna have to regulate the speed of launch if they want it to do that stall.
Perhaps, yeah.
Cool. So next up. Drayton Manor.
Let's get to festivals.
Before we get onto events, I'm just going to show you this. That Drayton have announced their new passes. So they have silver annual pass, gold annual pass, platinum annual pass. Honestly, really good pricing, I think, personally.
That is sick value.
I think
all 3.
The reason I think it is such good value because, like, basically they have the silver pass. That is £89, and that just has restricted dates. You don't get 20% off food or retail.
Do you know what's funny? Sorry to cut you off, but do you know what's funny? I think I've gotten to the point where I've lived here for long enough that saying dollars is my default now. So like seeing pounds on stuff, it's almost like I have to like remind myself. Like my default is I see that and I see $89, $104, $158. I was like, it's not dollars, it is pounds.
I mean, it may as well be with the cost of the pound at the minute, but
yeah, to be fair.
But anyway, so yeah, you have that, and then the gold annual pass is basically you get everything except for you get a discount. What is it now? I don't know. With the platinum, the difference with that is that you get. Is this changed? Am I seeing this right? You get entry. So let's start with the top one because that's going to be the easiest thing to do. So basically, you get unlimited, unrestricted access to the park. That's £158.
Yeah,
get free.
But
car
also
parking.
West Midland Safari Park as well.
So
which isn't cheap.
No, and it's theme park wristband at West Midlands. So that's like unlimited rides.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I'm sure West Midlands theme park things like nearing £30 when I've looked to go on the ride.
Yeah. 10% off food and beverage.
Oh no, it'd be the 20% now. Yeah,
20% off food and beverage. 20% off animal experiences at Drayton Manor and West Midlands Safari Park, which is really cool. 10% off stay in Drayton Manor Resort Hotel and Safari Lodges. Exclusive offers on special events. And just to let you know, I did double check with the park on this, but on all these. Apart from the silver pass where it's restricted days, but if it's not restricted, you get the events. These cover all the events, include because like a daytime ticket does include the nighttime events. So it's not like So I double checked with this, so hopefully it's right. If it's not, I'll correct next week. But I know definitely for the gold and the platinum pass is that gets you into the events. So that's what we're going to go on to now. But I just thought, like if you didn't want the West Midlands stuff, West Midlands Safari Park, you're paying £104 for unrestricted access to the park, all the retail discounts, and plus, like I say, all the events, free car parking. I think it's really good, to be honest.
It's really good value.
I'm definitely getting one. I mean, it's a shame Apocalypse isn't there, but
Rest in peace.
It's for me. I live like 50 minutes away, so it's a no-brainer. Like, I'm definitely going to do it.
You're just popping on your way home, just
yeah, exactly. That's what I used to do,
especially with the night riding that they're doing now.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to come on to. So if I can get the events pages up, last week, they released all their events, which they have done. They have done some events over the years. But nothing like this.
Like Drayton went like ham last week, didn't they?
Yeah.
It was just like doing this. It was like what?
Yeah. So we've got
cool to see.
So for half term we have Dinosaur Breakout, which if you saw the video, they're like loads of proper dinosaur costumes and puppets. They're like,
mate, I love dinosaurs. I don't give a fuck how old you are. Dinosaurs are sick.
Yeah. In March they have March of the Dinosaurs. Get it? March. And that's going to be like slightly different. That's going to be slightly different to Dinosaur Breakout, just with the shows and stuff they have.
That makes it sound like there's going to be a parade of some kind.
Maybe there will be.
Dinosaur parade. Oh my god!
Can you imagine dinosaur parade?
I pay serious money to watch a dinosaur parade.
Let's have a look. Raptors on loose venture into Dinoverse on selected dates between 10th and 31st of March. Be sure to keep your wits about you. Our sneaky Raptors like to keep a close eye on guests. Alongside but there we go. And then in April, we have 15 years of Thomasland. So that's going to be 1st to the 30th of April. And they're hinting at something. On Twitter, they're hinting at something to do with Thomasland. So there's rumors there's going to be a new ride of some sort. So, and then we have Friday the 5th and Monday the 8th of May, which is Coronation Street Party. There we go. So obviously for the coronation. So that is summer fireworks finale, late night riding, live music, DJs and a live band, Rory's coronation show, which just sounds so funny. Like I can't wait for that. Street party entertainment throughout the day, themed food and drinks. So yeah, it's going to be till 9 p.m. every day. So late night.
Right.
Oh my God, Danielle has just confirmed that there will be a dinosaur parade, a dinosaur breakout.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
yes.
Get yourself down there.
I did know that. I did know this, but I didn't know if I could confirm it yet. Like,
I like the acting. Like, oh, there might be a dinosaur parade.
Fiestival. So street entertainment throughout the day, dances and live music, themed food and drink, Rory's Fiesta finale show, family activities. So yeah, this is kind of like a coming together like of all these different festivals and stuff. Like it's not just like Mardi Gras, if you get what I mean. It's like loads of different types of things that people celebrate, which I think is like a really nice kind of little. It's not just another like I love Mardi Gras at the Merlin parks and stuff, but it's nice to have something different, you know. So what else have we got? So we then have Summer Nights. This one got people very excited, didn't it?
Yeah, that one to me just reminds me of Thorpe's Summer Nights that they did years back, and honestly, they were the best days at a park because. For the actual nighttime bit, everyone went home.
Yeah.
Like, the park just emptied. You had the entire park to yourself. And it was music, drinks.
Yeah. What I like about this is the fact that they're doing it as an evening ticket. So you can just go for the evening if you want.
5 to 9, that's...
So, yeah. 10:30 a.m. till 9 p.m. Evening ticket is 5 p.m. till 9 p.m. So if you want to do like a short thing, you can go and do that. But yeah, there's going to be loads of entertainment on. I just don't know what else I can say really.
The only thing about this is I was wondering. I don't think I had seen what time the park was going to close on these days, and the 9 p.m. closes are great. But in the middle of the summer, that sunset's fucking late. You know?
I
don't even think a 9 p.m. close would be late enough to get night rides.
No, well, that's the thing with Thorpe. Theirs were 9, sometimes 10.
Yeah.
And it was like you just got evening rides.
Yeah.
Honestly, are quite spectacular in their own
good as well.
right.
Sunset rides and twilight rides. Yeah, man. For sure.
Yeah, if you get into the queue just before the queue closes,
you can.
And then a Viking festival.
This is so exciting.
Yeah, so this is like a Vikings kind of breakout of the area, and it's going to be like it's kind of like fire eaters and jugglers, Viking drummers, late night rides, again 9 p.m. And in September, October, it's the 1st of October. You'll probably get night rides then, surely.
By that time of the year, for sure. Definitely.
DJ party, live shows, themed food and drinks, including beer tents.
Yes.
Come on.
I know
that's where you're finding Emma. The event.
Where you're finding me.
I was about to say it's not just Emma.
What I loved is probably I shouldn't really say that. I shouldn't admit it, but what I love about Night at the Manor is like having them bars like in the Viking area. Like I've never like been like slightly tipsy in Drayton Manor before. Like I don't get me wrong, I didn't get hammered, but I'm saying like it's you have a couple of drinks, it livens you up after a while, doesn't it? And it just the rides hit different when you do that. Not saying everyone should just get drunk. Just to be clear here.
We don't.
I will be.
No.
But yeah, like I just think that's so cool. Like I really like Vikings. I've said this before. I like Viking themed things. So yeah, I think that's going to be wicked. Really excited about that one.
Totally. I do like that that multiple of these events, not just the Summer Nights one, have late night closing. Like, to just promote that as being an attractive thing to just challenge the sort of culture of being home leaving to go home at 5 o'clock so you can be home for dinner and like all of that. I feel like that's a major component as to why parks historically in the UK haven't stayed open later, because it's just not in the culture. It's just not in the leisure culture of people.
But that's the thing. Like, I've never even thought about this. There's a lot of parks in Europe and in America that offer evening tickets, right?
Yeah.
So like that's
especially
the reason.
in the US.
Yeah, so that's the reason. Like, if you look at like a lot of our parks in the UK who do open late and then it empties out, I'm not complaining, but I can see why some parks, don't lean to that if people are leaving the park and not spending money.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah. That's what I mean, though.
But if you give people an evening ticket, that's a game changer, right? Like, suddenly you get a load of people who are just there to do the evening.
Yeah,
and you can pack the park out. Like, it'll be interesting to see how this. Hopefully, it's it's a success.
But it is a good way to combat it.
Like, I'm just excited for Drayton in general. Like, the last year,
definitely
for them has just been incredible, and they've just kind of gone up and up and up and up. And then they start putting all this effort. They don't have to. Do you know what I mean? They could just do one event for the year, test the water and stuff. But the fact that they've got things going on all year, on top of all the investment in the park that we've been getting in the last 12 months, like, they're smashing it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
definitely. And it's funny just because I had thought this about excuse me. I had thought this a few years ago about how Disney do so many seasonal events for Epcot. I'm saying Epcot as the one that I noticed it the most about. Like, they do so many seasonal events. Like, Epcot doesn't look aesthetically the same park for more than 2 months at a time, because there's always something different going on there. And the same thing. I noticed the same thing about the Busch Gardens parks as well. Especially in recent years, just how they have so many seasonal events going on, and the reception is always positive because it gives people new reasons to go to the parks, to see something different at the parks as well. And I say all this to say just how in support I am of parks in the UK doing the same. Like, obviously, the Merlin Parks, Towers, and Thorpe are investing heavily in the events and everything. And to see a predominantly regional park in Drayton do the same thing as well, it's a great thing, and it promotes a culture of theme parks and amusement parks holding a prominent position in just leisure in general. I'd love to see, off of, obviously I don't know the numbers of how much more attendance Flamingoland gained off of the back of their new roller coaster. I'd love to see them capitalize on that and, invest in the park in this sense as well. I have no bearing on whether or not they will, but just to say, these regional parks being able to assert themselves in this way outside of the Merlin monopoly, it's a great thing for the UK specifically, I would say.
Yeah, that's it really. And if you look at Pleasure Beach, they were the kings of night rides, and now it's sometimes you get lucky if they even the rides stay open till a certain point. That's something I want. I want Pleasure Beach to be that is the perfect place to do night rides in the UK for me. It's equipped to do it. The lighting and everything is already there, and I want to see them.
They don't want fucking lot of fireworks during the nighttime hours.
I know. They need to relocate where the fireworks go off. In my opinion, I don't think fireworks are cool, but they're not that important to shut down half the two big rides. Do you know what I mean? There's surely other places they can do that from.
Or just let them off after park close.
Yeah, right at the end, maybe. I don't know if they have like a noise injunction or whatever. Maybe that's something to do with it.
Maybe.
But I don't know. Just find a new space. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you want to go watch fireworks, do it over there or whatever.
Just go over there with your fireworks.
But yeah, that is a bit of a bummer when they end up closing everything, because you never really know when everything's going to close either. Do you ever get that? I don't know if you get that. Like, you think, oh, I've got till this amount of time, and the amount of times that I've gone and they've shut Icon early because they're just like half an hour early, or sometimes in an hour early. I'm sure.
I've only had that because of the fireworks, personally.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Like,
oh right, yeah.
I'm saying like it's not always, it's not
happen.
consistent. That you think you know when they're going to close it, but then they close it earlier. But yeah, anyway, it's just really exciting. It's really exciting. And you got to think, like, before COVID, like, we didn't have events really, except for like Halloween. We didn't have events in theme parks, and there was. I mean, I remember on Coaster Gen, like, I was always, probably a few of us was, but I know I've always thought, like, I want more events in our theme parks. It seems weird now because we're kind of used to it, but like before 2020, we didn't have these like Oktoberfests. We didn't have these Mardi Gras. We didn't have anything like that. It was just like Scarefest and fireworks, really, on Fright nights and stuff.
And all that's right at one end of the year as well.
Yeah. So like we didn't have that, and I was always like, well, all these parks in America do it. Like, why can't our parks do it? Because it makes people go back at different points in the year, rather than seeing these theme parks as like for your average family or whatever, or group of friends. They'll be like, we'll go once a year, but then to keep getting them to come back, there needs to be a reason.
Exactly.
And that's why events are so good. And it also, you know, even from, you know, like it or not, like vloggers and stuff do have a bit of an impact to get people into these parks and to give, like, you know, if you look at Florida vloggers, like the amount of content that people get out of Disney and Universal, because there's always like food and wine festival. There's always like, you know, there's always a new food item. There's just something for people to go back at, and then that's free advertising to them. So it makes sense.
Imagine being able to go to a park and do a vlog at a park solely based on the food there.
Yeah.
None of the rides.
Yeah.
Like none of the shows, literally just on the food. You can do that at not even just parks in Florida. There's multiple parks around the United States.
Yeah, like SeaWorld do a really good event. Mardi Gras. I'm pretty sure Busch Gardens, but they all do like beer festivals. They do like food festivals.
Beer festival, which is literally called Beer Fest. The Seven Seas, I think, food festival, I think, is what SeaWorld does. Busch Gardens Williamsburg has started doing St. Patrick's Day now as an event. Like, so Ad said,
so close to pulling the trigger on annual pass based on these events at Drayton. So such a success already compared to a few years back, and I wouldn't have visited at all. The thing is, in the last 2 years, Drayton has become one of them parks that I like just sitting in. It wasn't that for a very long time for me, because there was like parts of the park that would just look tired. You know, it just wasn't. But now, like, there's so many places. Because this is the thing, I don't like going to places and like parks where there's not places to sit, and that happens so much at parks. Like that was one of my things. The first time I ever visited Epcot, for God's sake, that's all to do with food and drinks. But there's a serious lack of places to sit on a busy day. Food and wine, they normally put out like extra tables and stuff, like from the little pop-up things. But if you don't go in food and wine, like there's hardly anywhere to sit outside. Like, but yeah, like Drayton's becoming that type of place where it's just nice. Like the Viking area is really nice. You've got that whole like platform on the lake that you can go and sit on. There's loads of benches around the area. Adventure Cove, they've got that whole new seating area next to the wave swinger. There's just like there's nice places to go now there and just sit.
Yeah, I've got to agree with Ad though. Like for me, Drayton have done a complete 360 in the last 12 months to me. You know, I'd probably go if maybe once every 2-3 years, because there was nothing drawing me that. Like I used to go as a kid religiously as a kid. And as I kind of got older, it was kind of like, well, this was removed and this was removed, and it did look a bit tired and stuff. But honest to God, like the turnaround that park have done in the last 12 months is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Honestly, it just makes me from thinking once every year, 2-3 years. I want to go multiple times a year. And these events now just make me want to go more than multiple times a year.
Yeah. Kira saying, I'd like to see a proper Pride event, call it LGBTQ.
What?
I quite like that. I quite like it.
I mean, I don't know if a park wants to advertise Q, but
yeah, I know.
That's great though.
That's part of the event. We'll artificially extend the queues just for that event.
When we went to Heidi Park, it was there like a month before their Pride event. They do like Heidi Park do a full on Pride event, so it could happen.
I would be down for like an official Pride event.
It would be good, even if it's for like a weekend. You know what I mean? Like, just do it.
Oh yeah,
I think that'd be really cool. But yeah, it's good. Good things are happening. Really looking forward to the future, Drayton. Mate, it's so close to me. Like, I can't wait. And we already, it got confirmed as well. I didn't even know we said this on the podcast, but it got confirmed, and that they're getting a new coaster. So I'm happy about that.
I believe we did cover that actually.
I'm not sure if we covered it.
We did,
I think it was the week you were off.
Was it the week I was off?
I believe it was.
Why do I not remember that?
It was that Luke started reading out the wrong thing.
What did he read out?
That article
There
was the article from the director, or who was it?
I remember,
and he read out the wrong section of it.
I remember that, but I can't remember if like the part that we were reading out had said it was confirmed, or if it just was like, suggested and we were speculating on it. But yeah, I do remember it being confirmed. Yeah.
Yes,
for sure.
Yeah. So so there's a lot of things going, and I'm hoping that's going to be like a retheme of the area and stuff where all that is. See that happening. It was and I'll have to try and find the link for it, but it was like an interview with Victoria Lynn, is the new managing director. She's from the UAE. I can't remember what parks it was, like Wild Wadi Water Park, Ferrari World, Abu Dhabi. That's
all those
Warner
ones on
Bros,
Yas Island,
Legoland. That's the managing director. That's been her past. So that's a big reason we're seeing these massive improvements. Is you got someone who's got experience of these big resorts, big parks coming in to this regional park and making it big. So it's really, really cool.
Cool.
So on the same vein as events, so with the Merlin parks, so with Chessington, Thorpe, and Alton Towers, we've got the events. All the dates are out now. I think pretty much the same lineup for the last couple of years, which I'm not complaining about. I think each event for me is getting better and better and better every year goes by. Festival of Thrills is returning. That was his first year last year, and I'm just going to say it, that was one of my favourite events Towers has put on, purely down to the fact that so many stages around the park with live music.
That DJ Sidor.
Well, it could happen because Festival of Thrills is the Smiler Takeover this year, so celebrating 10 years of the Smiler. So I think it's going to be a bit of a change to what was last year, where it's going to be a park-wide kind of celebration of the Smiler. So
all the stages will be Smiler-themed ones.
Yeah. I don't know. Condense the stages to X Sector. I hope that they keep them all. I just don't want it to just all be an X Sector. I like the fact that no matter where you were in the park, there was some form of entertainment.
Because that was a good thing about it, because it didn't even have to be like you had to stand and watch the shows. It was like, I think, didn't you, Mikhail, you went while it was Festival of Thrills, didn't you?
I'm
sure it was you.
I'm not sure. What, last year?
Last year?
I think the only time I went to Towers last year was on opening weekend.
Oh, was it? I thought it was. Must have been someone else then. But I remember them saying like they hadn't been to towers that much. But it was like someone, I can't remember who it was, but someone said it was like going to like a major park in like in the US where like there's just like entertainment going on. Obviously not all parks, but there's some parks where
I feel like I remember that being said. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was, but that's what it felt like. It felt like a proper big, like it just made the park's always to me already feels big, but it made it even bigger. Like it was like everywhere you went there was something going on. They had like bands back to back, so there's always something to hear. And even if you're just passing to like go ride Nemesis or something, or like ride 13, just to have something going on, just made it feel like such a bigger park. So yeah, it'd be nice if they do have the stages still. But I mean, we've not really been given much in terms of what's going to be going on. But I'm going to think it's going to be like a lot of like kind of just entertainers around, probably dressed as like Ministry of Joy people, and hopefully DJ Sidor, Cider,
DJ Cider.
Side door just sounds weird though. It sounds like get my side door.
DJ Magnus, yeah.
Literally, like one of my memories from last year was just a massive group of us just dancing to DJ Sidor because you did like a drum and bass, and then we'd all be dancing. Like Jack and Vix were there, and then Parks and Pints just came over like, right, and then we turned around and then like Arch Nemesis was like, and then just ended up being loads of us dancing to this drum and bass. So it's so good.
Yeah. So Ginger One said Brick Week at Legoland Windsor. Yeah, that was there last year. We filmed it. But that's actually really good for the kids. They have just loads going on Brick Week. There's just like Legoland's great anyway because you want to go. A lot of kids just want to go and build stuff. They have even more stuff on. They have more pop-up tents everywhere where you can build even more stuff, and just staff helping people as well, which is really good.
Roller Baz in the chat says, where is it? Oh yeah, does this mean a Nemesis takeover in 2024? I like that.
Yeah,
I like the sound of that. I like the sound of that.
I wouldn't be opposed to like each year them doing a different ride takeover. Imagine the Oblivion takeover, just like drum and bass everywhere. Yes,
that'd
please.
Be interesting. Yeah, I'll be down for some drum and bass or some garage or
if
there's a Nemesis takeover, can we have like John Wardley on the decks? Just like he's like hard hat.
Amazing.
Everyone's all the just dressed like John Wardley.
John Wardley takeover.
John Wardley flash dance in the middle of Tower Street. You know, like for like the Alton ancestors, but just John Wardley in his different outfits.
John Wardley's not even the DJ. He's just the hype man to the DJ.
MCing over the top. That'd be amazing.
Like,
do you know that like that Splash Mountain rap? Splash Mountain. It's just like that. To Nemesis.
Wow.
Oh my god. Petition to make it happen.
Let's get that going.
That'd be so good.
Oh god, yes. But yeah, there we have it. I think we covered everything off.
I think so, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. All good.
Moral of the story, events are good. More of them, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's go through some of the comments. I love Festival of Thrills. I'm hoping that they expand the event onto the lawns this year. Yeah.
It did seem odd that was the one event where they didn't really use the lawns.
I think
it's a festival.
I think the thing with the lawns is that like
it gets destroyed.
It gets destroyed. So I think they want to try and preserve that lawn rather than putting them because like obviously when they do the fireworks they put all that plastic on the floor, which is a good idea because it stops it from getting really muddy, but it just doesn't look very attractive, does it, when you when you come in there in the morning?
I mean, still past like 2 or 3 years, every close season they've been completely returfing the lawn. Because of how destroyed it's been getting.
It does. But I think they want to not do that too early.
How was Oktoberfest with that last year? I didn't really see much of Oktoberfest. Last year's Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
But,
it was fine. They start... Yeah, if I remember, it's okay. They start putting bark down when it starts getting like kind of muddy in places. But yeah, I think it was fine. They need to bring back a smoking area on the lawns, though. Do you remember when they did that in the first year?
You have to be banished to the purple bench 5 miles away to go and smoke.
It's not even smoke. I can understand people not want to be around, but if it's like a vape, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you're not allowed to do that on the lawns. And if you want to have people to chill out on it, because they did in 2020, they literally halfway through the season, they made like a portion of the area into a vaping area with tables and stuff. And I think, just to please everyone, like there's still a lot of people who vape, just, it's not, give them a separate little area. But yeah, it's like bloody Magic Kingdom having to like walk 10 miles to get out of the park to then have a vape.
Imagine if they put it across the way from the lake as well, where you have to get a boat over.
Boat all the way over.
You gotta get over. You gotta get on the boat over to go get the smoking area. But
there we go.
Sounding good.
We're done. Mm-hmm. Cool. So we made good timing. I did say I wanted to keep it to an hour, but there we go. It's never going to happen, is it? Never going to happen. But yeah, there we go. Thanks everyone.
I will be back with a trip report next week.
Yeah. Where's it going again?
Your boy's flying out to California tomorrow.
Tomorrow, exciting.
For Buzzed Bars is straight out a Stumbles event at Six Flags Magic Mountain. So,
oh god, have you been to Magic Mountain?
Have I? Yeah. Like 12 years ago though. Like we went in, like me and my mum went in 2011, and I've not been back since. So yeah, it's gonna go there so bad. So sick to get back down there and to get to Knott's Berry Farm as well and see San Diego. So
is it? Can't when are you going to? What day are you going to Knott's Berry?
Knott's Berry Farm is Friday, and some bars and breweries in the Anaheim area. That's Friday evening.
So hopefully it's not going to be like Mike's experience.
Hopefully not.
So
it depends how late we stay.
Yeah, I was listening to Drunk Riders podcast, and Mike had a great story.
Yeah.
About, I don't know if you've seen this chaperone policy that Knott's Berry have put out. So it's like it's just for the late nights, isn't it?
I think so.
Chaperone policy, but even then, it was like apparently, like Ghost Rider was on like a 2-3 hour queue.
It was like a 2.5 hour wait.
Yeah, 2.5 hour queue. The line was everywhere. There's people just like queue jumping the entire time. People getting into fights. Someone got led out in handcuffs. Like, Jesus. So the chaperone policy is clearly not working.
Because how it worked is that the people who are chaperoning these kids, they only had to enter the park with them. They didn't have to stay. They didn't have to stay with them. So I mean, I don't know this to be fact, but I mean, it gave the people who were chaperoning free reign to just basically drop the kids off, go inside, and then fuck off somewhere else. Basically.
It's just like, it's bad. Like, if you know you have an issue, like, but by the sounds of what Mike was saying as well, was like they only had security guard in like the top, like in the like where the cattle pen is, or
in
something.
Inside the building,
inside the building,
the queue building.
All the problems of the queue jumpers was outside in the darkness. There's no lights in there or anything.
Yeah, and apparently they go on. I feel
like it's just that, but it's just like, you know, I've seen vlogs from that place, and you know, it's like a lot of the American parks, like they have like the signs up saying, like, we don't tolerate queue jumping. Call this number, you know, call security if you see it, and then you'd call it, and then they don't do anything about it. It's a bit like, what are you doing? What is the point in establishing this chaperone policy, trying to go out of the way, and then just like half-arsing it? It doesn't make any sense.
Half-arsing the queue jumping policy, and like on top of all that, like apparently, if I heard Mike correctly, like they had all the security inside the queue building, but they weren't even using the switchbacks in the queue building.
Yeah.
Like the queue was what it was outside, and then it would get in the queue building, and it just went straight up to the stairs. Like apparently they weren't even using the switchbacks, and now so it was like, what's the fucking point in having all the security in there when you're not even using the space that's there? That might have taken all of the queue that was outside, like out of that section where it was pitch darkness, and put them inside where everyone was more visible to the security.
Hopefully, you don't have that issue. But
yeah, hopefully not. We're not there on a weekend.
Yeah, that's it. As long as you're not there on the weekend, it should be all good.
So, I mean, like Ghost Rider's ops are like horrible just in themselves, without all of the other queue jumping like issues going on and everything. So I'm gonna gauge it throughout the day, throughout the morning. We are planning to get there right at Park Open and basically rope drop Ghost Rider to ensure we get rides on it. But I'm gonna gauge it throughout the day. If the park gets busy quickly, I'm getting fast lane. Like it's expensive, but I want rides on Ghost Rider. I want multiple rides.
Yeah, but you pay money. That's sometimes you have to wait up because you pay so much money to do that anyway. You're like, I may as well spend a little bit extra more money.
Yeah.
That's the problem with fast passes. Like, I don't want to support it, but sometimes you just have to.
Yeah,
especially if a park prioritizes fast pass as well, which a lot of places do. Like they'll just, to the detriment of the normal queue, they'll just like run trains full of like fast lane fast passes. You kind of just have to be like, well, I'm gonna suck it up and do it. Like,
if it's a park that you get to frequently, then you don't. Then you like, like you can pick. You don't necessarily have to do that. You can pick out days where it's going to be quieter, and then just go on those days, and then you won't have those issues. But if it's a park like for me personally, for Knott's that I haven't been to in literally 12 years, I don't get down there often. We only have one day there. Like,
well, it's like if I ever went to Magic Mountain, I'd probably pay for a fast pass.
Yeah,
because there's just so much to do there, and I think I'd be sweating in the queue, being like, I'm not gonna get on everything. I'm not gonna. I'd rather get on what I want to get on, and then just have a chill like rest of the time.
For sure.
But the only time I've ever bought a fast pass, I'm trying to think. Yeah, no, definitely the only time I've ever bought a fast pass, I've done it multiple times, is for Valhalla in the summer. Because I ain't waiting in that horrible queue. Like, the queues that thing got. And the feeling of just passing everyone in that queue was incredible.
I'll bet it was, mate.
I just hope. I mean, it's not even that expensive. Like, I remember just doing it. We looked at it. It was like, I'm so hot. It's sweltering. The queue was like literally reaching flying machines. It was like sprawling out everywhere, and I was like, how much was it? And I think it was like 10, 15 quid. And I was just like, I'm gonna do it today. I'm going to do it. But I hope that's something Valhalla will sort out, is that queue, because that is a disgusting queue. It's got to be the worst queue in the UK, right? Can anyone think of
it? I never really have
Darren Brown, probably worse.
When you look at the Valhalla queue, though, really, it looks like the cattle pen doesn't even look that big, but it is. It takes forever.
Yeah, it takes so long.
It doesn't look as bad as it actually is. So it lures you in because you think, oh god, it's only there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But then if it looks big, you'll know you're there going to be there for like over an hour. And I hope they do something about it, because it just looks messy as well, because it like spills out.
It's not got a designated area.
No.
It's just flat, isn't it?
Yeah, so I hope they do.
Did you see that picture of Shambhala from like what I can only assume was like opening weekend or something like that, with the entire queue house like just filled up with the queue line, and it was like going all down. The queue was going all down the stairs, all up the pathway that leads into like Shambhala's Plaza area, and it was just people just sprawling everywhere. It was a mess, man. Oh my god! I mean, I can't imagine. Having waited in that, knowing how big Shambhala's queue house is as well.
Yeah, I've waited for Shambhala with all the cattle pens open, coming down them stairs, and then around the corner. I've waited that before me and Joe did, and it was like a really busy day. That was another infuriating thing, because it took us like an hour and a half, and then we could just see because you got the fast pass to the side of it, and you can just see like they're just like getting through them, like they're just letting like full trains of people on it.
Yeah.
And I only really needed a wee halfway through it because I'd been drinking so much beer. And you know what it's like when you need a beer wee.
Yeah. Once you break the seal, you have no control.
It's not letting up at all.
No, I'm like, this is hell. This is horrible. They've got these stupid little fans that do nothing.
Yeah.
Like, you just like sweltering. I thought I was going to die in that queue. It's horrible. But yeah, since when I did that, then we got fast pass the next time we went. And then it was much worth it. But yeah, the only UK fast pass I've ever bought was that. Anyway, I need to stop. Another tangent. I've been up since half. We can't
half just go on, can we?
3 a.m. Yeah, I got up and I've been to London and back, and I'm shattered. So I gotta go.
Yes.
Why do I do this to myself? All right.
You imagine one time you just leave the podcast and then leave us the chat. I'm going to bed. Bye.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Thanks everyone for joining. We will see you next week. Hopefully Luke will be back next week. We'll catch you next week. Bye bye everyone. Bye.
Bye.